Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is KIT Tobata, English 6C, the afternoon, or almost the evening, of October 26th, 2022. Let's take a look at what you have to do for this week, as well as next week, because next week we're going to be on demand, and I want to make sure that you understand all of these assignments. If you want to get this on your computer, please go ahead and take a look at it, access it, so that then it's a little bit easier to see. Also, please don't forget to sign your name on the attendance sheet. Okay, so today for class 4, we're going to work on a little bit more fluency. You can see that in the class descriptions. And as always, you have your homework answers that are available every week the day before today. So yesterday, this was already available on August 25th. Make sure that you check those answers, especially as they were for the listening exercises, and check the points, check the details in every class. If you really need help understanding what's going on with the very long reading, last week it was about machine translation, then you have the reading in Japanese. But I think for most of you, you can probably understand that without really reading the reading in Japanese, but it's entirely up to you. Okay, last week in the reflection, I gave you an explanation about what I believe fluency, what is important in fluency. And I'm going to do the same thing again this week. This time, we're going to be talking about machine translation. Machine translation was the topic last week for you in the reading, and I want to give you something of a little bit more of a newer opinion, because that textbook was printed, I believe, about 5 years ago. And a lot of the things that it said about translation are a little bit old. So we're going to be talking about Google Translate. And that Google Translate, okay, that URL, I want you to be able to use it. I'm actually going to tell you how to use it. And then your reflection this week is about Google Translate. So please listen to what I'm going to say, because the topic this week is, what did Mr. Cruz say about what is important when using Google Translate? I want you to listen to what I'm going to say, and then I want you to write out this reflection. Now, about the reflection, I noticed that most of you are doing it very well. Good. You're going to get 100 points automatically, because usually I will give 100 points to anyone who does the reflection. You do the reflection. If you're trying your best in English, that's enough. If you're late, okay, if you're late with that assignment, you're only going to get 50 points, because it's not a difficult assignment, and I want you to try to do your time management. If you don't submit it, you're going to get 0. So it's better to get something than nothing. If you're really late, don't think, oh, I give up, I'm too late. You should get at least 50 points. There's another case. If you actually write your assignment in Japanese, there were some people that were writing their assignments in Japanese. Do not write your assignments in Japanese. I want you to answer your reflections in English. It shouldn't be that hard for you. Write your assignments in English. If you write your assignments in Japanese, you're going to get 0. Please be careful. So from this week, there were a couple of people that were still writing in Japanese. Please write your assignments in English. I know I can speak Japanese. You know I can read Japanese, but writing in Japanese does not help your English study. Okay, and as always, every week you have your class 4 homework. Please make sure that you watch the video and understand what's going on and do the work. Okay, now next week will be on demand. So I'm not here to be able to actually take your attendance or anything else. So don't worry about the attendance next week. However, there's going to be a little bit of extra work because we're not here this week. Now, when it comes to on demand, one thing that I think you should always remember is that you always should take extra time in the week to make sure that you're following up with your Gyutoi work, the listening exercises that you have on Gyutoi. If you're doing that, then that's fine. But if you're not, some people have not yet even accessed their accounts, then that is what you should be doing when it comes to an on-demand class. In any case, let's get back to the discussion on on-demand. On-demand means that you don't have to come to the classroom, of course. So you can do all of these following assignments for the 5th week at home. You can do them in this room. You can certainly come here, but I cannot be here next week. My schedule has changed. So instead, I'm going to give you these assignments now, do them next week, and then we're going to meet again on week 6 on November 9th. Okay, that's when we come back to the classroom. But next week, November 2nd, we will be on demand. So that means, as usual, you have your chapter 4 homework answers. You have the reading in Japanese to help you understand. And you have a reading quiz. Okay, now, Professor Long in the video is talking about a listening quiz. That's for his class. In my class, you're going to do a reading quiz. Okay, you also still have your weekly homework. And this time, you have 2 reflections. Okay, now, normally reflections are due on the same night. So reflection number 5 is about how to use YouTube subtitles. So please watch the video and then understand how to change YouTube subtitles from English subtitles to Japanese subtitles. This is one of the amazing things about machine translation. Machine translation has become so advanced that it can hear my voice, not just read text and understand what I'm saying. That will be due next week on November 2nd. Then there is another reflection, okay? There is another reflection, okay, where I want you to watch this video of me teaching your upperclassmen. This was from about 7 years ago, around 2015. And the things that we do in class, I want you to think, do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Some of my students think, Mr. Cruz, we spend too much time practicing speaking. I want to practice listening. I want to practice TOEIC. Okay, if that's what you think, then answer this question. What do you think of the fluency exercises that we do in our class? Now that reflection is due on the next night. That will be November 3rd, because I don't think you need to do 2 reflections in one day. So the first one is for tonight, okay? That one there is for tonight, which means that week will be November 2nd. And then the next one will be the day after, tomorrow night. That will be November 3rd. This is enough work for you to be able to keep up with the work that you're doing in class. But remember, if you have extra time, any extra time, you should really be doing a lot of gyutoi. And actually, because we're a little bit late, some people have still only just received their logon information. Like last week, I'll be giving you some extra time this week to do a little bit more gyutoi. And speaking of gyutoi, I wanted to be able to show you a little bit later who's leading in the class. And I wanted to show you a little bit more about what you can do to help improve that. But for now, if you have any questions, always remember that you can email me at jdmcruz@gmail.com, or you can talk to me at the end of this class. But remember, next week, we're going to be on demand, so you don't have to come to the class, but you do have a lot of work to do on the Moodle, so check the Moodle. As a matter of fact, though, I should tell you, you can access this right now, so you don't have to wait until next week. The due dates are next week, but if you want to do this tonight even, that's perfectly okay with me. This material is here right now. If you have time now, don't wait, just do it right now. That's the nice thing about Moodle, is that you can do these exercises as soon as you have time, especially this reading quiz. That might take you a little bit of time. And if you answer it once and you get a low score, you can take that quiz again. You can take that quiz as many times as you want until you get the highest score that you think you can get. My quizzes are designed for you to be able to take them as many times as you want. Okay, so that's all I have to say today. Remember, next week is on demand. Otherwise, let's have a good class, everyone. Oh, and from here, I'll be talking about Google Translate. So try to remember what I'm going to say so you can answer the reflection for tonight properly. Thanks very much.